Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports and Nonsense. Kind of getting a double feature podcast this week because I didn't post last week's podcast. So two are going up on the same day.
Oh my God.
We recorded last week at what was it? 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, or 9:30 in the morning on Friday morning. And I was so busy at work all weekend, and my family came down to visit on Sunday. I was just like, I don't know when I'm gonna render this.
So that's right. I hope that went well for you.
I'm just gonna do it tonight and post both of them tomorrow. But they're here all week, so I'm gonna go visit them on my 2 days off. So yeah. So kind of a short episode this week, just because people's got stuff to do. Yeah. So what did we talk about last week? I don't even remember.
I don't know. Are there any
Did we talk about the Julio Jones trade stuff last week?
Yeah.
Okay, so we did Julio Jones. We did some stuff with I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, just because I have to write a description for what we talked about, and I don't remember what we talked about. Did we talk about Xbox, PlayStation stuff?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
I don't remember. I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to it again, because I can't remember anything that we talked about. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in a couple weeks, though, because the E3 conference announced their release, or their dates that they're going to do stuff, and there's going to be other stuff that's going on not during E3, like during that week. So that'll be fun. And then I'm sure you're excited, but Far Cry 6 got a release date. So
yeah, I kind of like the look. I kind of like how it looked. I went and pre-ordered I already had it pre-ordered to help out, the people.
Yeah.
But I went and I didn't pay it off, but whatever I had. Whatever I had on my gift card already that had been sitting there.
And Dying Light finally got a pre-order or a release date.
I'm not going to get that, but I know people who are excited about it, so good for them.
And then we got 15 minutes of gameplay for Horizon Forbidden West last week, the same time frame that they announced the release dates for Far Cry. So I'm excited for that one. That's the one that I'm going to be playing. So yep.
I just watched The Land Before Time, the first one.
Yeah.
With my youngest son, and I think I posted on Facebook when that one scene came on. You know the one, if you're listening. And my son goes Dad, look, she's sleeping. And I look at him, my eyes all puffy. I'm like, yeah, she's sleeping. That's exactly what she's doing.
So there's not much going on in the world of football in the last couple of days. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 articles in the last 3 days. So Buffalo Bills restructured their contract with Stephon Diggs. Burkhead is in with the Texans, so he's out of the Patriots backfield and in with the Texans. And then the Seattle Seahawks, I guess, are in talks to do a trade with the Falcons for Julio, which Metcalf and Julio that's a good duo right there.
Yeah, Metcalf's is good by himself, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. We'll see. What I really wanted to talk about this week, though, is part of sports, but it's not necessarily stuff on the court or on the field or on the pitch or whatever sport you're watching. Did you see what happened at the Celtics game the other night
with the
fan
through
Kyrie Irving
through the water bottle at him?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it enough.
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't heard anything about it, this kid because he was like 21. And I say kid loosely. He's a child. He decided to go and spend his evening to watch the Boston Celtics in the playoffs against the Brooklyn Nets. And the entire time, the Nets were at the Garden because for those of you who aren't aware, Kyrie Irving used to play for Boston, and he does not like Boston anymore because stuff happened behind the scenes, or he was getting called stuff out in the stands by fans and stuff. And Boston fans can get a little bit of
hold a grudge.
No, they can get kind of awful. Like they're not the worst fans.
No, Philadelphia is Philadelphia.
Yes, Philadelphia is always the
doesn't
worst
matter
fans.
the sport.
It doesn't matter what sport, but maybe not baseball. I don't know because
I don't know. It's the other three sports. It's just horrendous. So I'm going to assume that it's the same.
Right. So like Boston's kind of up there in like the most hated fan base in the country. So this gentleman or this child goes to the Celtics game, and as the Nets are leaving the court after the game, he decided it was a good idea to take a water bottle and throw it in the direction of Brooklyn Nets superstar Kyrie Irving. This is also after a couple days.
You mean you wouldn't do that?
No. This is also a couple days after where Russell Westbrook got poured popcorn on his head as he was leaving. And he was leaving with an injury.
Also leaving Boston?
No, this was they're at New York because they're playing the Knicks. No, I'm sorry. That was Philly. So because Russell Westbrook's team, the Wizards, are playing Philadelphia in the first round. So that was in Philly. Okay. But he got dumped popcorn on his head, which that's like, I mean, that's rude, but like,
yeah, a little bit.
Like you got poured popcorn on your head, like whatever.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I mean, I can understand being irritated with it, but
right. But and I mean, he was injured, so I guess whatever. But this guy throws a water bottle that I think was full or near full.
Yeah.
At Kyrie Irving, and it grazed him. Like it grazed his head. I watched the video. It was crazy. Yeah. And yeah. So and then I'm watching the clip of this happening, and there's obviously there's cameras everywhere because it's an NBA playoff game. So they end up finding the guy who did it. Security, TD Garden security has him basically surrounded. He's not moved from his seat. And then all of a sudden, here comes Boston PD, slaps him in handcuffs and takes him out of the building. And then we find out like a couple hours later, like the next day, he's actually being charged with a felony.
What's the felony?
He's being charged with a felony for like battery or something. Hang on, let me find it.
Damn, it got his ass, huh?
Let's see. It's Celtics Kyrie water bottle. Let's see. So yes. Obviously he received a lifetime ban from TD Garden. Yeah. He faces charges of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon.
A dangerous weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you kind of lost me there after.
Now, because I was talking with my roommate about the same thing and like he was all freaking out. He was like, "Oh, dangerous weapon! It's a water bottle." And I was just like, "Yeah, but he was like 30 feet away, and the water bottle still had fluid in it. And from that trajectory, that could have hurt somebody if he like." And he hit him in the head, like, or he was aiming for his head. And I don't know. It's just like, I mean, why would you do that anyway? Like, are you stupid? Like,
stupid?
What? Why?
Just the way you said that. I'm sorry. It was just funny.
Like, I don't understand. Like, you're an adult. And the first thought that when I saw the video, my first thought was, oh, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like,
Yeah, I
what,
mean
yeah,
that's kind of my thought as well.
like, I don't know. I'm just like, maybe being charged with like a felony sentence of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon is a little too rough, but like, it's if
Was he was he
because
was
this
he was he made the example essentially?
that's
You
what I'm
think?
thinking. Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. Is like he has been probably made as the example where it's like, if you all mess around like this keeps happening like this, um
You're going to
it's
jail.
you're going to jail and you're going to get charged with a felony. Like, so I'm thinking that it might deter other people from doing stuff like that. And like,
Maybe.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like, first of all, you're a 21-year-old man. Like,
Yeah.
do you have such a grudge over like a 32-year-old person who plays for a different team? Like, oh, he doesn't play for my team anymore, and he talks about my city that we're all racist and blah blah blah, and because that's basically what he's saying. Like, he's talking about how he's been called names and stuff from the
Yeah.
Boston crowd or whatever, and he hates Boston. He went and he stepped on the logo at half court and stomped on it before the game even started. So it's like,
Well, I'm not.
but it's like, do you hold so much of a grudge that
I'm not defending anyone here, but that like, grow up, both of you.
right? Yeah,
you know.
I mean, you're there to play a game, and anyone who plays a sport professionally, you're going to get people jeering at you.
Yeah,
like no matter
that's
where
what I mean.
you go.
Like, that's what I mean. Both
and
of
if
you
you keep talking about it, it's going to get worse. So like, shut up and just play. But
grow up.
that is not condoning the action of this other person who is a fan.
Now I can understand
things.
I can understand from Kyrie's point if he feels as though if there were racial things said to him or thrown at him, I could totally understand having some like, yeah, F that city mentality. That's fine. I'm not against that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, just maybe it's trivial of me and not like, because I'm not a professional and I don't experience those kind of things, but like, how about you just dunk 43 points on the team? How about that? Just drop 40 points on Boston playing against them, and that'll get everybody to shut the hell up.
According to this article, which I've just found out, this is not the first. I mean, the popcorn was the first thing that happened, but it's not the only two things that have happened in the NBA playoffs since the NBA playoffs started. Like, I'm just now learning that apparently a New York fan spat on Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young.
Hey, I'm a Giants fan, man. New York fans are fucking tough. Like, yeah, they are ruthless. They're not as belligerent as like Philadelphia, but like I would totally put New York in like the top 3 of like the most like difficult fans to play in front of, you know.
But you're spitting on a guy when we're just getting over a pandemic. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying it was a good idea. I'm just saying, like,
and then, you know, multiple fans in Utah of all places harassed the family of Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant. So like apparently it's some.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like,
what are we doing here, boys?
I mean, we kind of talked about this last week. I'm just now remembering we talked about this last week when we were talking about going to sporting events again and going to like when we go to baseball games and we'd start yelling at the players. That's what we talked about last week.
I'm not yelling like racial slurs at somebody.
I'm not saying that you're not doing that, but like there's a way to do it and there's a way to not do it.
Oh yeah.
And what we're saying is
the way that I'm doing it is the way to do it.
It's the way to do it. Like, you're harassing the player, but you're not like making it personal to them. You're just kind of you're telling them you're just jeering at them. Like, yeah. But harassing somebody's family is kind of over the line.
That's way over the line.
Yes, and
that is way over the line.
Throwing popcorn, maybe like that's kind of like that's
stupid.
over the line, but that's dumb.
Just stupid. That's all.
Spitting on somebody is
crazy. Wasting your popcorn at that point,
right? And then throwing a full water bottle at another player, like, come on. Like,
I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if that's. I wouldn't call it a deadly weapon, but like at the same time, like I
Oh,
mean,
it didn't say deadly weapon. It says dangerous weapon.
okay, statement stands. I don't know if I would call that a dangerous weapon, but I think if you got him good, it would definitely going to ruin his day. But
I mean, if he hit the cap portion in his eye, he could have blinded him.
yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying he shouldn't have had his ass arrested. The dude's a dope, but I don't know if I would charge him with the dangerous weapon aspect. Because then, what's a dangerous weapon at that point? Isn't everything a dangerous weapon at
Mm.
that point? I mean, if I take this empty bottle of sparkling ice water and I jam it into your eyeball, yeah, that's the dangerous weapon, But they should have arrested him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a complete dope, but like, come on now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It says, yeah. Apparently, it says, Irving said there's no belligerence or racism going on, subtle racism, people yelling shit from the crowd. But even if it is, it's part of the nature of the game. We're just going to focus on what we can control. So, I mean, he took it in stride and he was just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's all you really can do, isn't it? Like,
yeah. So, I mean, people are going crazy now that they're allowed to go back and like,
yeah, I know it's
they're,
been a year,
allowed to go back
losing their
to,
minds.
they're allowed to go back to sporting events again, and people are going absolutely insane.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So, I saw a thing on, I mean, it wasn't from recent, but I saw a video on TikTok where it was a Corpus Christi, Texas baseball game, and the pitcher threw at the Corpus Christi player, and a fan rushed the field to like confront the pitcher, like, and everyone thought it was like recent. It was like, oh man, people out here going crazy after being inside for like for like a year, and the Corpus Christi TikTok page posted on the, like, they commented on it and was like, yeah, this is not recent. Like, this was like 7 years ago. So,
what an absolute dope, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, arrest him. Yeah. Maybe not.
You can charge him with something.
Charge him.
I wouldn't know if I would charge a 21-year-old stupid ass man with that. For that,
but that's kind of the point I was getting at. Like, he's a grown ass man. You have the ability to make your own decisions. Like, nobody is forcing you. Nobody's got a gun to your head saying, throw this water bottle at Kyrie Irving. And like,
no,
he was just like, oh, I'm just going to throw this water bottle at Kyrie because he's a mean dope who insulted my city.
He's a mean poopy head. So that's all I'm hearing there is just, he's a mean old poopy head.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of, they're going crazy in the NBA playoffs right now. Meanwhile, my buddy and I were talking about streakers, or not necessarily streakers, but I mean, I guess they're called streakers. People who just run out on the field.
Yeah.
They're still called streakers, even though they still got clothes on.
Yeah.
And he asked me.
Oh, God.
Has there ever been anyone who has done that at a hockey game? And I went, first of all, why would you want to do that? And he goes, well, what do you mean? He's like, you should get on the ice and, whatever. And I was like, yes. So you're going to go out on the ice. For one, it's ice and you don't have the proper equipment to streak. And two, you're getting on the ice with other people who, what they do for a living is to beat the shit out of other people.
And where are you going to go?
And where are you gonna go? Like
you just, it's like jumping into a fishbowl and looking for an exit. Like,
oh yeah, you're right. He's like, well, people do it at football all the time, and they always like, they beat the crap out of each other. And I was like, yeah, but a football field is huge, and you don't necessarily run up to the players when you do that.
And you might have somewhere to go.
And also, you can run. Like, if you try to run, have you tried to run on ice? Like, you don't go anywhere. So like, someone on skates is gonna skate up to you and go, no, and just smack you. Like, they're gonna drag your ass off the ice. Like,
yeah.
Like
I don't know about that one.
6'7" Brandon Carlo's gonna walk up there, skate up to you, and go no, and drag you off the ice.
Yeah, just
Like,
pull you and your balls off the ice, man. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a fun
I mean,
conversation we
yeah.
had.
I mean, it's like I never thought of that because I think my thought was always like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You're here,
The
you
only
know. You're
time the only time it's come close to something like that is when the Boston Bruins went instead they went into the stands back in the
yeah, but that's
70s.
that's the opposite of shrieking. That's
Yeah,
like
that's the opposite. It was the
that's like
opposite
the
of
opposite.
streaking. The players went into the stands
Yeah,
instead of
I
the
think
fans into
when
the
the players
fields
come, you
of
got bigger
play.
problems.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fun. It was a fun conversation, but I don't know. There's not much else going on in the world of sports.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing like I didn't think I'd get this far kind of like thought process when they arrest you for that. Like,
Yeah,
what was your getaway plan? Like, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like that video of that girl. I'm sure you've seen it. She's like running onto the soccer field, and they have like water jets for whatever reason, and she just
Mm-hmm.
gets blasted in the face by like a jet of water. I mean, like she falls over.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of my favorite videos because she gets clobbered. Yeah, I mean, that guy's anyway. Water bottle guy. He's an idiot. You know, an absolute dingus.
Yep.
But
Absolutely. So the going consensus of the NH because the NHL playoffs are in the second round. The Bruins and Islanders are currently tied 1-1. The Tampa, I think, is up 1-0 against the Hurricanes. Avalanche is up 1-0 against the Knights, and then the Jets and Canadians haven't.
Canadians might be on suicide watch, man.
Oh, no, not the Canadians. Um, so this is the other thing I want to talk about. Did you see did you see what happened? Did you see my Facebook post yesterday?
Hang on, maybe.
So basically what I had said was, for anyone who's not followed me on Facebook, is uh everything seems right in the world.
Oh
Mask
yeah,
mandates are
yeah.
lifting. People are going on vacation. People are going outside and like enjoying their time outside. And the Maple Leafs are blowing a 3-1 lead in the third period of
Yeah, I
Game
saw
7. So like everything is right in the world, and it feels like 2019 all over again, which I'm pretty sure that happened in 2019. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are the chokiest team I have ever seen, where they go up 3-0 in a series and then they lose 3 straight games and they get blown out Game 7, and it's just my favorite thing. Like, it's my favorite thing to watch.
That's because the Maple Leafs are just the absolute worst.
I know.
Like it's for like the Yankees of hockey, you know.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Like,
Well, like
I think
in terms of how much
the Canadians are the Yankees of hockey
oh,
because
it's
they've
what
won so much.
I forgot the Canadians are like the actual.
Yes.
I forgot. I always
the
get
Canadians have won like 23 cups or something like that.
I'm a doofus.
So, but no, like so if you want to say it like that, like how can I put it into football terms? Like, who's like a really choky? Oh, the Packers. So the Maple Leafs are basically like the Green Bay Packers of the NHL, except the Packers actually get to the championship game and the Leafs get blown out in the first round. It's just fantastic. I love everything's just felt back to normal. And I was just like, everything seems right now.
Everything's good.
Everything's good. So those are the 4 series that are going on right now. The going consensus, according to ESPN, is the 4 teams that are going to win are the Bruins, the Lightning, the Avalanche, and the Jets. So those will be the next.
The New York Jets?
No, the Winnipeg Jets.
No, I know.
The New York Jets started playing hockey, and they're actually pretty good. So we'll see what happens. If that happens, where those 4 teams move on, the Avalanche will play the Jets, and the Bruins will play the Lightning, which means I'm going to a hockey game this year because I haven't gone in so long. Like, I just want to go. But everyone seems to think that each series is going to go like 7 games. Like, oh, maybe not the Jets Canadians series. Jets in 5, Jets in 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4, 6. So, but all the other ones are really good series. Like, the Bruins Islanders series is probably going to go all 7. I mean, I said that last series and it went 5. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, the sports prediction dog had the Islanders winning in 6.
I did see that, and I don't like that corgi anymore. So
he's been pretty accurate, hasn't
I unfollowed. I don't think I actually had him followed anyway. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know. I'm pretty sure he got the Super Bowl wrong. I might
no, he picked,
be wrong about
he
that,
picked the
but
Bucks.
I'm not sure.
He picked the Bucks.
Hmm.
I remember because I didn't, and I was like, "Damn it!" But no, I picked the Bucks.
We picked the Bucks. I had the Bucks. I had the Bucks through the whole playoffs, if you remember correctly.
No, yeah, I had the Bucks losing every game until the Super Bowl.
I had Bucks Bills and I had the Bucks winning, so I got the AFC wrong. But I had the Bucks winning the Super Bowl through the whole playoffs. I just knew it.
Just a sainted.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing. I mean, I know like there might be some baseball people that listen, and if you are, I'm sorry, but because I don't really like
neglecting baseball.
Yeah, but I don't feel baseball is important until September.
A little closer. Speaking of September, I don't know why this is relevant, but my road to the show. Oh shoot, my road to the show guy. I fudged the roster so I could get. I forced the draft to Boston, and I fudged the roster so I would get to stay. Sorry. And we're in September first in the wild card race, having been last when I got to the team in August. So I'm just playing that game, and I'm just waiting for us to absolutely choke it away because they have like a 10-game winning streak. So speaking of baseball, there's some virtual baseball for you.
It's
Red
funny.
Sox are doing pretty good.
My pitcher that I have, he got called up to AAA, played one AAA game, and then got called up to the major leagues. And I was like, okay, like
must have been a good game.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right. So it was like a week later he moved up to the big leagues.
I had that with my center fielder, but I had to I fudged the rosters for it. He got called up to AAA, and then a week and a half later they called him up to the majors. And I'm like, at that point, call the man up to the majors. Just spending money on plane tickets. But baseball. I guess I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't really watch it until closer to the postseason anyway. It's just too many games for me to sit and watch every single one.
Right.
Same thing with basketball. I don't even watch basketball until playoff time. I just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch basketball. I mean, I don't want to watch basketball at all anyway. Right now, just because.
When I say watch basketball, I don't mean I sit down and watch quarter 1 to quarter 4. I mean, I'll turn it on when there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter if it's a close game,
right?
Of the playoffs.
I'll watch a game 7, like if my team or if a team that I know it's going to be like a good game and it's going to be like game 7, it's like down to the wire. Like I'll watch that game. Like I love watching a game 7.
Oh yeah, games. Yeah, those are must-win games. As according to Joe Buck,
or John Madden.
Yeah, must-win game 7. Yeah. I don't know. The only sport that I watch religiously is football, but it might be because it's one day, 2-3 days out of the week, and it's one game. Like baseball, you turn a game on at 10 in the morning, and you could, in theory, most likely watch baseball until you go to bed. If you really wanted to,
the same game too.
It could be the same game. That's true. I finally saw that new rule, the extra innings rule.
Yeah.
And I've decided that I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I've decided
it gets the game going like a little bit more.
A little bit more pressure. A
little bit more pressure, and like guys are not swinging for the fence every time they get up to bat.
Yeah,
like they're not swinging. They're not swinging for the fence to close out the game.
Now,
playing small ball.
If you know how how do they determine who's the runner? Is it just a lineup thing, or is it like a pinch runner?
I think it is the person who got the last out in the last inning.
Oh, okay, so if the 9 batter is the last out in
yeah.
the 9th inning, then he's on the second base.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it adds a little bit of strategy to it too. When you're making your lineup, you gotta. But then again, you can't have it. You have no idea who that guy's gonna be.
Right.
But I guess you could, in theory, if you were feeling ballsy enough, you could always walk somebody, to get the slower guy if you know he's super slow. But that's kind of risky, but risk reward thing.
I mean, if it's tied and you want to get like a double play, yeah, you could.
Well, I'm thinking
too, like if you've got the cleanup hitter up and then you don't want to pitch to him, but you want to pitch to the next guy, fucking walk him.
My thought is like if it's bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and the guy up is like totally capable of launching it into the atmosphere or running to third base on a really deep, opposite field, and the guy behind him not as high risk to launch it in the atmosphere and he's slower, and walk the first guy and take the slow guy and get him out and then you can put him on second, but again that poses the risk of that guy can still hit a nuke. He's a professional at the end of the day,
right?
Even the worst Major League Baseball player in the league would absolutely smoke me in my backyard. So,
of course, yeah.
Of
course.
So, but I like it. I like the new rule. I'm here for it. Speaking of new rules, did you see the? I don't think it got passed, thank God. But the proposed rule that was gaining steam at the NFL owners meeting with the replacing the onside kick with a 4th and I think 30.
They've been talking about for like 2 years now.
I know it gained a lot of steam this year. I thought it might actually pass, and
it's like a 4th and 10 or 4th and 15
it's 4th and long. It's a 4th and long. I don't like it. I don't want them to ever do that. It's just so much can go wrong, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
And the onside kick is so it's so hard to convert. Like they may be trying. I don't know if they're trying to make it easier to convert.
It's hard to convert because they changed the kickoff rule where you can't get a running start.
Right.
So the odds of success are much lower than they used to be.
Unless you're the Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I hope they don't do it because I could see, and I get that that's the whole point of the game, but like that was kind of just an extra element. Okay, you got the touchdown. Now you have to get the onside kick, you know, whereas now you got a team like the Bucks or the Chiefs or, it's almost not guaranteed, but a much higher chance that a team with weapons like that will convert that 4th and 15 almost every time.
Yeah.
And the other question is, what if there's a defensive holding penalty, like a 5-yard penalty? Is that's a 5-yard automatic first down penalty?
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying is that penalty still going to be an automatic first down, or is it going to be a 5-yard penalty? Do it again?
Right. Yeah, I have no idea.
That's why I don't like it, because I don't want the game to come down to it. Pardon my French, a fucking defensive holding penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, yeah, man on second base. Anyway, I like it. That's a good. I like that one. That's one of the ones that can stay.
What else is there? How's Mass Effect?
Good.
Yeah,
it's good. We're on 3. We're on 3 now.
I was gonna say, yeah, you must be on late 2 or 3 by now.
No, we're in 3. We just lost some members of the team, and Sam was very upset. She cried. So, it's a good series.
Jesus. Oh, like it's so I had never played Mass Effect, but was it something you could have prevented, or is it part of the story?
So one of them you can prevent, but it's, as someone who played it before, I know that it's not good for what you need. You know what I mean? Right. And the other one you can't prevent. It's part of the story. Nothing you can do about it. And she was devastated for the first one. And then she's sitting there on the couch, like she's crying. I love her to death for getting that invested in a franchise that I love so much. And I look and she's like, and I'm not going to spoil it. She was like, if so-and-so dies, I swear to God, I'm done playing this game. And in my brain, I'm like, I know he dies an hour later. I'm like, oh my God, the next level, he dies. Like, and I'm sitting on the couch like.
You get that face like.
Yeah, trying so hard. And she's like, does he die? And I'm like, just watch the game. I don't know. Like trying to play it off. Like I
don't remember.
Like I literally remember being like, oh, it's like a 1-2 punch, man. It's and it was her 2 favorite characters. She was just devastated. And she's like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
It's funny.
But it's good. It's been running like a champ for me, no problems.
Have you
And
guys done Halo?
she doesn't have any interest.
No.
No. To be fair though, when Mass Effect is doing like the combat stuff, she's on TikTok. She only gets back up when they're talking
Oh, she's only like watching the
story.
story mode
But
elements to it.
it's funny because every now and then like they'll be talking shit during combat, and I'll look over and she'll be like, because she doesn't think that the conversation's starting, and it's just them talking shit.
So you need to play narrative-driven games then, because now
she needs to.
Right.
I can play whatever I want.
No, I know you can play whatever you want, but for her to be invested,
it needs to be narrative driven. Yeah, like the first game we played together, actually, ironically, was Fallout 4. Ever.
That is not narrative driven at all.
No, but she loved it, and then we played Far Cry 5, and she loved Far Cry 5.
You know what you need to play that will like tear out heartstrings for her if you want to watch her suffer, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, hang on. Hey, Andrew wants you to suffer. That's
the Walking Dead Telltale series.
Oh, I told her about that.
You have to play
I tried to. She doesn't like the art style, so she won't play it.
Oh,
and I
was like, such a good story, though.
I'm like, that's a silly thing to not play a game. I cried.
To be fair, though, I don't play Borderlands because I don't like the art style.
Me too. But The Walking Dead season 1 in specific is just
that is the greatest. Like, it's the greatest storytelling.
I played that game.
So good.
I played that game during a blizzard.
Yeah.
And I was locked in my barracks room, played it during a blizzard. And I said, I'm gonna play the Walking. I got like from Mountain Dews and shit. I was like ready for a long haul. And I played the whole game in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, I'm sitting in my barracks room recliner chair, just actual tears coming out of my eyes.
Oh yeah, dude. That game will do that to you.
I'm just like, I was like, why would they do that? And yeah.
Oh, I think I.
You know what else? I
have traded it in, but it's on Game Pass. You know, it's on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, sure it is. The one that
they got 4 seasons now.
But it actually made me go to GameStop the next day, and I bought The Wolf Among Us because it was made by Telltale.
So good too,
and that is arguably better.
That is so much better. I mean, that's a better story, but it's not as good as a. It's not as emotional. It's not as emotional,
but it's so good, and that's like one of my like underrated, underappreciated, unknown games. Like, you have to play that one.
And they've been talking about doing The Wolf Among Us 2 for years.
I know. And
they announced it too. And when before Telltale went out of business, or no, after Telltale went out of business, a different company stepped up and was like, no, we're making Wolf Among Us 2. And then coronavirus happened. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah. That was just a phenomenal game.
Oh, it's so good. But no, not this.
You know what though? What made it almost better was I bought it blind. I had no idea what it was about. I just knew it was a Telltale game, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this game because Telltale made The Walking Dead, and that was amazing. So I bought it blind, put it in my Xbox blind, had no idea what it was about, and any facet of the imagination. I thought it was about werewolves. Like, that's how little I knew about it.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty good graphic novel.
And
I'm playing the graphic novel.
And I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's the big bad wolf. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it was just, I couldn't stop. you know, like.
The graphic novel is called Fable.
Yeah.
Fables?
Yes, Fables, I think it's called Fables.
And it's actually pretty good. Like, it's one of the, it's basically gory.
Well, it's a lot gorier than
it's basically gory, what is the word, like fairy tales. Yeah, thank you, like Disney princesses and stuff, and it's so good. But
meeting the different fairy tale like characters in that setting, in that like lifestyle, was like, oh
yeah. And you get to go to like the strip club,
and Little Mermaid, and
you're just like, what
titties, like where's your clams, honey? Like it was just a great, and like his roommate's one of the pigs from like the Big Bad Wolf. I'm just like, what?
3 Little Pigs, yeah.
Yeah, like, and the pig's like an alcoholic. He's not an alcoholic. The pig's a smoker, but the wolf's an alcoholic. I just loved it. I loved everything about it.
So great. But no, going back to
the ending is kind of not as emotional as Walking Dead.
But
it is a little sad. It is a little sad, but not like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It was just kind of like, oh, this is bittersweet. Like
when I played the first Walking Dead game, and for anyone who hasn't played it but has played this other game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was the same reaction that I had when I played Spider-Man, and I got to that scene in Spider-Man.
PS4 Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, at the end, yeah.
Near the end,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't cry in that scene, but it was
you
deep.
didn't?
No.
Oh my god, I was so invested into that game, and I was I was
I didn't cry because they kind of I just knew it was going to happen. I was like, they're going to ask the question of like, would you blank to save?
Yeah.
And I just like, but no, I didn't cry. It was wrong. It was heavy, but I didn't cry.
I don't know. I can't think of any other game that's made me like so super invested, like
that you cried,
that it pulled out like that. Yeah.
That you cried, or that you had an emotional reaction. Because I've gotten angry at
both.
A game, like.
But so I'll tell you this, going to get to my point. When I played the season 2 of The Walking Dead, you had to pick between like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you had to pick between one of two things.
Yeah,
I
at the end,
paused.
Right?
Yeah, at the end,
yeah.
I paused the game and sat there for 20 minutes thinking about what I was going to do. Yeah. Because that is the type of game where when you play the next season, the repercussions will follow you into the game. Yeah. So like that's why I want to play them over again, because I have a brand new console. I can start a new fresh save file and stuff, and I want to play through them all again.
And your loading times will be about 3 seconds.
And then but the thing is like I had never played the final season. Like I played
New Frontiers?
No, the final season.
Oh, the one after that one?
Yeah. So Telltale, the last thing that they put out was the Walking Dead final season.
Right.
And that was after New Frontier. I played New Frontier.
I didn't like New Frontier.
Which I didn't like it at all. I didn't like New Frontier, but I still played it. But I want to play the new one, or the newest one, I guess, the final season. So
yeah, nothing beat Walking Dead season 1 for me in terms of like and like now as a parent, I don't think I could go back and play it again. I mean, I probably will, but like I don't think I could go back and play it again and not become even more of a blood-brain mess.
Now that we're talking about it too, like you'll probably be like, man, I really want to play that. Like
I remember. So there's a scene about just before the halfway mark, I think it is. Actually, at this point, the game's older than my kids, where you have to choose to help one of your survivors, like with his kid, like his kid got bit.
Yeah.
And you have to decide to either let him turn, shoot him yourself, or have the father do it.
Yeah.
And as me at the time, a single guy with no kids, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it, And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to make this dad shoot his own kid, and he's not going to turn into a zombie, so I'll do it. I didn't even think about it, dude. It was like option B, like didn't even think. I was like, no brainer. I'm shooting this kid in the face, like it's going to save him from a horrible, didn't even think about it.
Yep.
Now, as a parent, like I watched the movie Cargo, and I'm like, oh my god, the one with the couple and the zombie thingy. It's in Australia. The mom gets infected, and then she bites the dad, and the dad spends the whole movie trying to find someone to take care of his daughter.
We've talked. I think we talked about that.
We have. I can't watch that now with being like, oh my god. I feel like Brian Griffin when he has a kid. He's like, well, what? Hey, Brian, what if Steven got in a plane crack? Oh my god. I can't even think about that. That's what I feel like. So like playing that again, I feel like moments like that would be a lot heavier for me because it's like, oh, I could never do that, but then I could never have someone else do that. I need to, like
I get that a lot with movies too.
And then of course the very, very end where that very big, not necessarily like there's not really like a lot of repercussions for it, but like it's a very big choice. And like I remember, and that was like again playing that as not a dad or even a married man at the time. It was still a really hard choice for me because I just, you grew to just really care about those two.
Yeah, I know. And it was, it's just,
when he calls her Sweet Pea, it was like, oh, all the tears. It's like, it's like water gun.
God,
it's a Pokemon move. It was bad.
Oh man, it was just too much emotion in one little game.
Great game though.
Fantastic though. Yeah.
It was their first one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Well, no, it wasn't the first Telltale game.
No?
No, because the first Telltale game they ever made, I think, was like Jurassic Park or something, and it was awful.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And then they did Back to the Future, I
Oh, that's
think.
right. They did do Back to the Future.
And then that one wasn't that good either. They also did Game of Thrones, which
Mixed.
if
That got mixed reception, I think.
if you're following along at home, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us are the only two good ones they've really done. Like,
yeah,
because the same company did the Minecraft
Batman.
one
And Batman.
Oh, they did Batman too. Batman wasn't bad. I liked Batman actually.
Batman, I didn't care for after the first season.
But they did Minecraft story mode,
which was weird.
Which was weird. Seeing like Steve from Minecraft talk is just weird.
Yeah, the whole thing. And Guardians of the Galaxy too.
They did do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That one also wasn't very good though.
They did Borderlands. They did Tales from the Borderlands.
They did Tales from the Border. Yeah, they did a lot of them. Like, can you imagine? Like, and now they're out of business. Like now, now, like you can imagine that like they only really did a couple of good games. Like,
well, that's what happens when you produce two. I mean, because Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead were pretty close together in terms of releases, weren't they?
I think so.
They probably were riding high and blew all their load on some new properties, and then didn't have any money to finish them.
The Wolf Among Us was 2013.
Really?
Yeah, I did not realize that it was so late.
Old. I thought it feels old to me at this point.
Yeah. So let's see. Games. List of Telltale games. The first game they did, like they've done a bunch of games, like they did Telltale Texas Hold'em, Bone Out from Boonville, CSI 3 Dimensions of Murder, which apparently was the first like actual Telltale version game because it was 5 episodes. Sam and Max Save the World, CSI Hard Evidence. They did a couple of CSI games, which I don't think did very well.
I don't think so. I didn't know CSI had games of that nature.
Are you familiar with Homestar Runner?
No.
Oh, Homestar Runner was like an old thing. Like back when I was a kid, it was like some sort of web series that you go on it. For anyone who knows what I'm talking about, they did a game called Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People, which I find kind of funny. But let's see. The Back to the Future is actually the first game that they made that was kind of like this, more popularity kind of stuff. And then they did Jurassic Park. The Walking Dead was 2012. The Wolf Among Us 2013. Walking Dead, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Minecraft, Walking Dead, Batman, Walking Dead, Guardians of the Galaxy, Minecraft, Batman, Walking Dead, and then Wolf Among Us 2. Well, yeah, Wolf Among Us 2. They did an untitled Game of Thrones sequel, and they actually which was canceled. And then there was an untitled Stranger Things game. So they were actually
doing. That's right. They were doing Stranger Things.
They were doing a Stranger Things Telltale, which that would have been really cool too.
I think
upset about that.
I know that a lot of their stuff was based on actual, like licensed properties. But I think they kind of isolated themselves as they went along. For people who played Borderlands, watched Game of Thrones. Now don't be wrong, Walking Dead and especially Wolf Among Us are more isolated as well, especially Wolf Among Us. But The Walking Dead was huge back then.
Wolf Among Us 2 is still in development. It's being produced or developed by Ad Hoc Studios. That's right. I remember that it was being produced by Ad Hoc. Yeah. So we'll see. I hope so, because that would be awesome if they finally did a sequel to that, because they left it so open. But
I know. Hopefully they do it right too, though. You don't want a sequel just for the sake of a sequel.
I know I know, but I'm sure they'll do it like to like people's heart's content, because they know it's everyone's one of cult favorite games to play.
It's huge. Yeah, I know. That's one of the ones that I actually own digitally. Actually, it was free on Xbox Live a while ago.
I think I own it physically.
I was like immediately download. I played that one over the course of one day too.
Right. Yeah, I don't own a lot of games physically anymore. But so let's wrap up. Have you got any final thoughts for you today?
No, not today. Nothing in Dan Campbell's world, huh?
No, like I said, there was no real big articles about football this week. I mean, I'll do a quick Google search for Dan Campbell, and I'll click on news. And nope, 5 days ago, Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. He throws a pretty ball, that's for sure. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Nope, Dan Campbell hasn't been in the news in a couple of weeks, which is very upsetting.
They probably put a muzzle on him. Like,
yeah,
owners came down and cut his tongue out.
I gotta find like some Detroit like sports page or something. Someone's gotta have like, oh, you know what? I mean, I know we're running into time here, but I want to see. I gotta find this out really quick. I gotta see if Dan Campbell has a Twitter.
I doubt it. I feel like he doesn't. I feel like Twitter couldn't contain him. He's like Shaggy. He's a meme. 1% of Dan Campbell's power isn't enough for the internet to handle.
There's only one Dan Campbell who is like blue check marked. And yeah, none. It's not the Dan Campbell we want.
That's definitely not Dan Campbell.
No, he's a singer-songwriter. Apparently, that's upsetting. I really wanted him to. Got green screen. I really wanted him to be an actual Twitter account because that would have been amazing.
If you just search Dan Campbell, that's the first picture.
The lie is it? Peter on a lion. Awesome.
Does he bite? Of course he bites. It's a lion.
Of course he bites. It's a lion. Oh, each week you can listen to Sports and Nonsense on your favorite podcast streaming device or streaming service via Spotify, YouTube. Not you. Well, you could use it on YouTube now, but it's mainly Spotify, iTunes, Podcasts, and Castbox FM. You can find us on YouTube on the video podcast version on the Name Pending Productions YouTube channel. And if you don't mind, I haven't tweeted in a while, but follow us at Sports and Non-Pod on Twitter because we would appreciate that. And we can get that kind of going. See if you know what I've actually been thinking about now that we got a couple minutes before we wrap up. I've been thinking about to get the word out better is to do a TikTok and like post little like 1 minute, 30-second segments of the podcast that we do each week on the TikTok because TikTok is so popular now. And that maybe will get the word out for people to like actually listen to the full podcast.
I'm not shaking my ass. I just want you to know
No, it'll be like a little video, like it'll be just like a little video, like a clip of something that we said that was funny or whatever. I don't know, something that we
I have 2,400 followers on TikTok.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're like real popular.
Yeah, okay. The most popular video I have is actually one of my kid. And it's got 500,000 views.
Oh, are you making money from it?
No.
Oh.
No. It's so the next highest amount of views I have on any video is 1,057.
Doesn't TikTok pay, or do you have to be a part of the TikTok program?
Think you need to be
part of the program.
Yeah, I'm not that big.
I was gonna say, doesn't TikTok pay you if the video has over like a certain amount of views or something?
Yeah, I mean it's him like duetting with another video, so I don't know if that would count because it's technically not like my original video, but
whatever. You gave him credit, right? That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, it's shared. It's a duet video. It's shared.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we appreciate you guys listening or watching if you watch this along on the YouTube side. But we will catch you all next week. Bye.